Barakallahu feekum, Sheikhna. Sheikhna, do you have time to take a couple of questions?
No problem.
Inshallah. Sisters have questions?
How did the Prophet take turns with his wives? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How did the Prophet take turns with his wives?
Say again?
How did the Prophet take turns with his wives?
Take charges?
No, turn. Like...
Turns, okay. The Prophet taught us that every wife has a night for her. But in the day is for the man. Not to enjoy a wife, but to go around all the houses and check his family. Because he's responsible for that. It is not like one wife takes 24 hours. No. The nights, yes. Every single one has a night. But in the day, Rasulullah used to gather them all and, for example, eat together in one house. In the house of the wife which declared is her. Like that.
Naam, Sheikhna. I have a question. The question is, what's the ruling on marrying a virgin and also someone who is not a virgin, like someone who is already married? Is there a difference between the day the man's supposed to give to the virgin woman and the woman who is not a virgin, who has been married before?
Now, we call the virgin bikr in Arabic. You need to learn the Arabic terminology because this is what you're going to hear in the Quran and the Sunnah and the Hadith. So we call the virgin bikr, and the one who's not virgin is called thayyib. Thayyib. I know that there is no exact word in English, but in Arabic we call her thayyib. And by the way, bikr and thayyib can be for man and for woman. Bikr is a person who didn't marry before, and thayyib is a person who married before. Now, when the man marries a girl which is virgin and she is the second one, then he can stay with her for the whole week from the night of wedding. But after that, he goes back to the normal, one night here, one night here. But when he marries a second wife who is thayyib, then he gets 3 nights only, not full week. 3 nights only, and then he goes back to the normal way, 1 night here, 1 night here. Now.
Barakallahu feekum, Sheikh. Anyone else? Another sister has a question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I just have a question. When a husband, when he has 2 wives, and say one is a woman he's been with for several years, and they have a family and an established family and kids and stuff.
There is a lot of echo, sister. There is a lot of echo. I cannot hear what exactly you say.
If a husband already has an established family where his first wife, and he marries a second wife who doesn't have any kids, or maybe she has kids from a previous marriage, how should the living arrangements and stuff be for it to be just between the wives? Like, how should that be done? Because usually, with the wives, they kind of bicker about one wife should have the same as the second wife, but if one wife has 5 kids with the husband and the other wife only has 1 kid, how is the man supposed to be fair and just between the wives with the difference in the family structure?
Do you mean in regards to spending?
In regards to spending. Yes. Not just spending, but not just spending, but also in kids, because he has a whole household of kids he has to tend to also, and then say the other wife only has a newborn baby.
Now, first of all, the raising of kids is the responsibility of the wife, of the mother, not the father. It's the responsibility of the mother. Every mother needs to maintain custody and care to her children. The father or the husband is not responsible of that, but he is like a supervisor over the whole family. Now, in regard to spendings, we have to segregate between spendings on the wives and spendings on the children. Spending on the wives must be equal, unless there is something abnormal, like one wife is sick, so he has to spend more for medication. That's a different thing. But the normal spending, they must be equal. Now, the spending on the children, they must be equal, but the house which has 4 children is not going to be given the same money as the house which has only 1 or 2 children. But let's say one house has 4, one house has 2. What he spends on each child must be equal. Whether he's a boy or a girl, they must be equal. Unless, as I said, if there is a required necessity, not just because I like them. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. So the wife, which has 4 children, will get her share of spending, and her children, the 4 children, will get their share. The other wife, which has only 1 child, she will get hers, and 1 share for her 1 single child. This is the way how it goes. But the second one, which has only 1 child, or maybe she can be the first one, we don't know, she cannot complain that he is giving the other house more than he is giving this house. That's not correct. Because if he gives the house which has 1 child like what he gives to the other house which has 4, then this is injustice. This is unjust, because now he's giving one side more than the other. Now we look to it, wives are separated from the children. Wives must be equal in everything, clothing, gifts, money, whatsoever, food, they must be equal. The children between them must be equal, whether they are from 1 marriage, 2 marriages, 3 marriages, 4 marriages, whatsoever. They must be equal. He must treat them equally. Now, and we mean by equally, not by house, but by head, by child. Every child is equal to the other, unless there is something necessary. Now, wallahu.
Sheikh, another question.
No.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I have 2 questions, but the first one is it like obligatory, mandatory, or is it just from the good akhlaq that if a man asks a woman to marry, that woman will contact his first wife to see how she feels about her like joining the family? Or
that is not from the akhlaq, that is not from the religion, that is even not from the aql, not from the intelligence, because this definitely will cause problem. This is not her business. This is not her business to contact the other, the wife, which she is marrying her husband, and tell her, I'm going to marry your husband, how you find it. Definitely the wives, the women, find it hard. I can say that they necessarily objected. Aisha found it hard, but she never objected it. There's a big difference between how you feel and how you react. Yeah. All the mothers of believers, they found it hard. They are human like us. But they are believers, not like us. We are not as believers as them. Their faith had them to control their reactions. That's how we need to be. We cannot say, oh, we are not like them, let us do what we like. No. We are not allowed to do what we like. She cannot call the first wife and ask her if she, how she feels with second wife. That's not correct. That's not correct at all.
It's 4 o'clock.
My second question is, can you give us some examples from the Sunnah, if there are any, on how like the family units are intertwined? Like, for example, the children of the first wife and the children of the second wife, do they have like relationships with one another? How do you bring them together to have a whole family unit? Or is it okay for them to just be separate units of families who don't interact with each other much?
That's a good question, because it is based from my understanding. It is based on how we the parents build up our relations. Yeah, we see some mothers, or let's call them wives, who have problem with their husbands, whether he has another wife or maybe not. Now they use the children. This is from the mother's side and also the father. Both of them make this mistake. They use the children like their weapon to fight the other supposed with. That's not correct. The children cannot be the victim. We have to avoid our children anything of our problems, any of our problems. Look how Rasulullah directed the husband and wife to do what to do. He said when they have a problem and the wife is a disobedient woman to her husband, he can abandon her, but on bed, meaning inside the bedroom where the rest of the family do not feel, do not see it, do not feel it. But in front of the children, we have to show them that we are one unit. We love each other, because any problem between the husband and wife will damage the morale of the children. Definitely, no doubt. Even the kuffar say that. The problems between husband and wife, the fighting, the crawling, all this damages the morale of the child. Now, when the husband has 2 houses, 2 wives, and each one has children, again something happened like that. The mother here says to her children, I don't want to see you with those boys or with those girls. I want to hear from you that they're your brothers and sisters. I don't want this. I don't want you to go there. I don't want you to come here. That's not correct. That's not correct. Remember, you are only a carer. You are not owner of these children. You do not own them. You are only a servant of those children. Allah made you a servant for them, to serve them, not to own them. They are not flock of sheep. They are children, they are human. So, and it is from your advantage to have your children have good relation with their brothers and sisters from the other wife, because you don't know who of the children, all children, going to be a doctor one day, or going to be something good to benefit you. Those children of the other wife, they are considered your children. They are your maharim. Even if their father divorces you, they're still your children. They can see you, they can travel with you, they can, and they are responsible of you. You are a mother to them. We have to understand this thing, because we are going to stand before Allah, and He's going to ask us about all this. If any damages happen in the other house because of this housewife refuses to have her children have good relation with the other children, then wallahi, she is guilty before Allah, and she is going to have a big responsibility before Allah. Now, but how to bring them together? We first of all, we should not show them any of our problems which is between us as husband and wife, or wives between them. The wives between them. They should not show this to the children. They should not show that to the children, but they should show them that we are Muslims, we are one family. We have to love each other for two reasons. One, we are Muslims, and Muslim must love the Muslim. The second, we are one family. We cannot deny that. The same father, we cannot deny that. So that is how we can bring unity to our houses. Wallahu a'lam.
Barakallahu
Wafikum.
Any other question? One more question, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Based off what the sister just asked, so is it better to have separate houses for a man to place his wives and children in different houses, or to have one big house with like separate floors or separate houses? Because the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, didn't he have like, wasn't
Come
it?
here, come closer.
Sorry, I think it's a question. Because if you have a house with 2 floors, it's easier for the children to communicate.
My question is it better for a man to place his wives and children in one big house with different floors, or like different like you call khurajat, right? Different because the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he had his wives really close to one another, and like the can you explain that too to me so it could be clear? Because I don't know if the masjid was like in the center and it was different rooms around it, or like, you know, my question is basically, should the wives and the children be connected in one house, but, you know, with privacy, like different floors, maybe, you know, something like that.
Now,
You get it?
the important thing that every wife must have a separate house, whether it is big house or small house. The wives of the Prophet ﷺ, each one used to live in a separate house, but this house was very small, and they are all in one building, one next to the other, only one more separate between this and this, and it is all as Aisha described it, saying that when Rasulullah used to pray at night, prayer in my house, and I used to be sleeping. When he used to go to sujood, he used to push my legs, so I shrink them, so he can make sujood. That shows how small the house was. But every wife in her own house. That is the best. Now, if it is one building and each wife is in one flat or in one floor, that would be good. If it is buildings next to each other's, adjacent to each other's, that's also good. And if it is one big house and every wife has her own room and they are okay with that, no problem, this also is good. We had, some Sahaba had done like that. And also some ulama, even of our time, they do like that. They do have big house with many different rooms, one kitchen now, and the wives are living in that room, in that house. Each wife has her own room and toilet, and then the kitchen is one. They have a schedule on working in the kitchen and the house, cleanness, etc. And they are, subhanAllah, when you see them together, you cannot believe that these are 2 wives of one man. You think that they are sisters, each one married to someone else, blood sisters. But they are not blood sisters, they are wives, co-wives. Now, Allah.
I'm sorry, I have a question again. The question is, how do you judge the financial status of a brother to know if it's okay for him to have another wife? Or because sometimes some brothers will say that they can have another wife, but maybe you don't know the details of their family until you speak to their wives to know that they have financial trouble. Is it okay to just go by the word of the brother if he says that he can take care of another wife?
Yes, first of all, yes. But if you are not so comfortable with that, then you do not call the wife. That's not correct. You may ask some sisters to ask her about her yani, life with that brother. But again, she would not say, and if, as a wise woman, she would never say we are not living good in good way. Because when Ibrahim alayhi salam came and knocked the door of Ismail, his wife, who doesn't know the father, never saw him, uh, when he asked her, how's your life? She said, terrible in this. He said to her, when Ismail comes, give him my salam and tell him to change his doorstep now. Ismail understood the message and he said that was my father and he asked him to divorce you because he's ungrateful. Now, you do not cause your sister to fall into like this sin. You go and ask her, how's it? Maybe they are in a good way of life financially, but she doesn't like polygamy. She would tell you, no, he doesn't have enough to spend. We are having problems. I am borrowing money, and then you stop marrying. But you cause her to lie. You cause her to be ungrateful. You cause a lot of problems. My advice is, if you have brothers, let your brothers to search around him and see how he is managing his life. This is easy. This can be known. It's not something difficult.
نعم شيخ.
No.
بارك الله فيكم جدا. We learned and benefited a lot.
So inshallah, I am very optimistic now to inshallah hear that mashallah Masjidu Ahlu Quran wa Sunnah had a lot of plural marriages done in it, inshallah.
Sheikh, now we have 2 more questions if you have time.
Alright, go ahead.
Let's go ahead.
When you were talking about the splitting of the days, you were saying that
Yes.
the night is what belongs to the wife. So the first part of the question is, the day where he can go between each wife's house, is it permissible for him to engage in sexual activities with one wife? And then,
No.
even if it's not her day?
No. The engagement must be for that house, which has the night. By the way, in Islam, the night falls on the day. The night precedes the day, not like in Europe, in the West.
So
In the West.
when is the night start?
So let me finish. In the West, the day precedes the night. Today you say it is the evening of Sunday, but in Islam it is Monday, so it is falling on the next day. That's why once we see the moon on the last day of Shaban, we start praying Taraweeh, although it was the day of Shaban, but tomorrow is Ramadan. So in Islam it is like that. Now, if he is last night in house A, then in the daytime, he can't go to house B, house C, house D to check his family. If they're okay, if they need anything, if something happened, but if he wants to enjoy, he cannot enjoy wife B, wife C, wife D. He needs to go back to wife A, because the enjoyment follows the night, or usually the enjoyment is in the night. If he wants to continue enjoying, he should go back to that wife. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu even though he might find his wife in menses, he does not go to the other house even in the day. He still enjoys this wife even when she is in menses. As Aisha said, he may throw a towel on me and say, cover yourself, let me enjoy you. Meaning cover your private part. He enjoys her away from that. But he does not say, it's only a few hours, let me go to the other house in the day and enjoy the other wife. No, it's not correct like that.
So is it haram? Does that mean it's haram to do it?
Yes, it is haram, and he is in sin. He is not being just with the wife.
Sheikh, Assalamu alaikum.
Nah. Walaikum salam.
Just pertaining to what you just said, is I'm not correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a narration where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to go to his wife, every wife within the same night. And
Can you slow down?
It's fast. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu.
Remember, I'm Saudi. I'm not American. I learned English in Saudi. My English is very poor.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to go to each one of his wives throughout the same night and make a wudu in between each night. So if you're
Sister.
make sure you ask that how he used to go between each one within the same night. And
Make it slow. Make it slow.
The question the sister is asking is perhaps this narration is correct or not, and that's what she's asking. The narration says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to go to each one of his wives in one night, and in between them he would make wudu. Is this ghusl? I'm sorry, he will make ghusl. Is this narration correct? True? False?
First of all, yes, it is authentic, and he did not used to make ghusl as I remember, but wudu between each wife. But some ulama said that this is something special for the Prophet ﷺ, not for everybody, not for every husband. And some ulama and some other ulama said we cannot make it this narrow and and just make it for the Prophet ﷺ, as long as he did not say that it is only for him. This hadith is authentic, and it is reported in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim and others. Now, on the authority of Anas bin Malik, radiallahu anhu, who said that the Prophet ﷺ used to turn around his 9 wives, because he used to have 9 wives at a time, and he died having 9 wives with him. In one night, he used to go around in one night. Many ulama spoke about that. Some say that it is in the daytime after Asr, as Ibn Arabi, Imam Ibn Arabi Maliki from Andalus, he said that. Some others said it is in the night, as in the hadith, in one night. Now, but there are a lot of different opinions in explaining and understanding this issue. However, we say let's go to the fundamental principles of polygamy. Give everyone her night and be safe.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. And one more thing. When does the night start in Islam? After Maghrib?
Say again?
Does the night start after Maghrib?
Let's say, first of all, we have the word day, which means from dawn until sunset. And the word day, which means 24 hours. In Islam, the day, which means 24 hours, begin by sunset.
That's the day?
That's the day, which is 24 hours. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Okay. In English, you use the word day for 2 meanings. One, which is the time when the sun appears, isn't it?
Yes.
And the other meaning for the word day is 24 hours. You say the day is 24 hours, isn't it?
Yes.
And that includes day and night.
Yes.
We still call it a day.
Yes.
It's the same in Arabic. Now, the day, which means 24 hours, starts by the sunset.
Okay. And when does it end?
How we prove that and how we understand it is, as I said, when is the first night for Taraweeh?
After Maghrib?
After which Maghrib? After which Maghrib?
The Maghrib of the night previous to the day before Ramadan.
What we call that day? Last day of
Sha'ban.
Oh,
isn't it?
Shaban. Okay.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Why do we pray Taraweeh every Sha'ban? Taraweeh in Ramadan. That's all.
Oh, okay. Because
And
basically,
remember, Allah Ta'ala said, أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ الرَّفَثُ إِلَى نِسَائِكُمْ. And it's permissible for you on the night of fasting. Okay, that day which the sunset has happened and we started praying Taraweeh. It is the day of fasting, it is the night of fasting, isn't it?
no.
So it began by the sunset. That is how it is in Islam. The day, the 24 hours, the day begins by the sunset. But the day in which we hold of eating and drinking, that is only the half day, the half day of the 24 hours that begins from the dawn until sunset.
From Fajr to sunset, right?
Yes.
Okay. Barakallah.
Barakallahu
Wabikum
fikum,
salam.
Shaykhna. And
Can a husband tell?
come.
Can a husband tell a wife who he loves most? Is it permissible for him to do that, or is it better for him to keep it to himself? Because if there's
Again, say again, the husband.
Can a husband tell which of his wife he loves the most, or is it better that he keeps it to himself?
La, it's haram, it's forbidden. It's forbidden that he shows more love to one than the other, and it is worse when he speaks about it.
But we know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Aisha was beloved to him more than all his other wives.
As we said, that is a different, the situation of the Prophet ﷺ is different. That happened when Amr bin As just newly came to Islam, and the Prophet ﷺ immediately, when Amr bin As embraced Islam, immediately the Prophet ﷺ gave him the leadership of the army, which has Abu Bakr, Umar, and the great Sahaba in it. Amr bin As thought that he must love me more than them. That's why he put me as a leader over them. Then he came forward and asked him, Ya Rasulullah, who is the one you love the most? He said, Aisha. It's not comparison between wives. Just he asked him, the one you love the most? He said, Aisha. But he said, no. From the men, he said, Abuha, their father. Then he said, and next, he said, Umar. He said, next, he said, Uthman. Amr bin As said, I stopped. I was scared that he never mentioned my name. Yeah. The reason why the Prophet ﷺ said Aisha, because he knew that it is a general question, not specific about wife. The man didn't ask him, which wife you love the most? And even if it happens, this was from a stranger man. Amr ibn al-As is a stranger man from all the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. He's not a mahram for any. So he asked this question. But if it would happen that, for example, the Prophet ﷺ never said to Aisha or anybody or any one of his wives that I love Khadija more than you, or I love Aisha more than you. He never said that. Khadija radiallahu anha, even the ulama said that there's big conflict between the ulama who Rasulullah loved the most, Khadija or Aisha. But Khadija never had any other wife in her life. One, because Rasulullah used to mention Khadija's name a lot, Aisha was very jealous, and she said, how many times you speak about this old woman? The Prophet ﷺ looked at her, and now he showed her that he loved Khadija very much, because now Aisha made something required that type of treatment. So he said to her, she was, meaning of love, and I had children from her. She is the only wife had children, and the Prophet ﷺ had children from her. Apart from Hajar. Hajar wasn't a wife. Hajar was a female slave. She is a slave female. But she wasn't a wife. The only wife that Prophet ﷺ had children from was Khadija. But he never used to bring her name in front of the wife. Only for remembering some incidents, this happened. So Aisha was jealous. No, Allah.
Barakallah fikum, Shaykhna. Shaykhna, can I ask one more question?
Yeah, okay, inshallah.
What is the ruling of slavery in Islam?
Slavery in Islam, subhanAllah. Islam came and found all human using slavery. Christianity, Judaism, the pagans, everyone was using slavery by many different ways which are not allowed by Allah. Like one tribe attack another tribe and they capture whoever and take them as slaves. Well, or maybe somebody crossing by the town, they capture him and they take him as a slave. Like what happened to Salman al-Farsi. He hired a caravan to transfer him from Sham to Medina, but the caravan cheated him. When they came to Medina, they said, he's our slave, who wants to buy? Now, Islam came and cancelled all these ways, leaving only one way of slavery, that is in war against kuffar, against the kuffar, not against Muslims, against kuffar. So in war against the kuffar, the pure kuffar, there slavery can be found. And as Islam came to make the source of slavery single, only one, it made the ways of freeing slaves many. Islam came and it said, whoever enjoy his wife in the day of Ramadan, he must free a slave. Whoever kills a human by mistake, he must free a slave. Whoever swore to his wife that she is like his mother or his sister, then he cannot enjoy it until you free a slave. And so on. Many, many ways to free slaves. But only one single way to have slaves in Islam. Islam came to minimize and control this thing. Islam didn't come to encourage slavery. No, that's not correct. And slavery in Islam does not go only for certain skin like black people. No, that's not correct. Zayd ibn Haritha was a slave of Rasulullah, and he was an Arab from the pure Arab. But he was sold in the market, and Khadija, or her uncle, bought him and he gave him as a gift to Khadija. Khadija gave him as a gift to Muhammad ﷺ, and then Muhammad ﷺ freed him. Same thing happened with Hajar alayhi salam. So Islam came to minimize ways of slavery and maximize ways of freedom. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وجزاكم الله.
One more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Two more questions.
Assalamu alaikum. So my question is,
Alaikum assalam.
is it permissible for a man to ask his current wife to help him look for a second or third wife and to go and investigate and stuff like that?
If he knows that she does not object and does not have any problem with that, yes, no problem. Because at the end, even if she is his wife, she is his sister in Islam who will who will care about him. But if he knows that she is very jealous and she doesn't accept that, then he should not ask. He should not involve her in this.
Barakallah fikum, Shaykhna. One more question, I'm sorry.
All right, no problem.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
As far as the responsibilities go between the husband and wife, when it comes to the wife's responsibilities, does she still have to consult with her husband about the decisions that she make? For example, if she decides something for the children, maybe health-wise, like what they eat, or medicines, or vaccinations and things like that, does she have to consult with her? Is it obligatory for her to consult with her husband? And if he goes against what she wants, what should she do about that?
Yeah, it should be. First of all, you talked about something that they should not. It's not under opinions, and the health of the children is not a matter of opinions. No, it's not correct. It's not my opinion to cause my children not to have vaccination and then die. That's not correct. Even in Islam, yani take me responsible for that. But it's a cooperation. First of all, it's a corporation. It's a company between them both. They need to have this boat to sail safely until it reaches the other bank of the river. But if the decisions about something else other than the health, then they have to sit and negotiate and discuss. But at the end, the decision is for the father. He is the one responsible in Islam. I don't talk about the West. The West is everything is messed up and it's a corruption. But I'm talking about Islamically. In Islam, the father is responsible. And if the father did not raise up his child well, and his child become a criminal, the father will be guilty, but not the mother. Not the mother. You know what I mean? And the father might be put in prison, but not the mother. So, in terms of which relates to health, it should not be a matter of opinions. Or I believe this, or you believe this. No, this is health. We have to go back to the specialist doctor, and he advises us. Both have to go by that. And even in terms of food, same thing. But not because I don't like burgers, because my kids must not eat burgers. And the father likes hot dogs, and he wants his children all to eat hot dogs. It's not correct. It's not correct. If it is healthy and unhealthy food, that's a different thing. But if it is based on this is my favorite food, they have to eat, that's not, it's a dictatorship. You know what I mean?
So what does she do if it's based on healthy versus non-healthy? Like if she believes in eating healthy and the husband doesn't, how does she deal with him?
No, it's not the matter of she believes or he believes. As I said, it must be a decision made by a specialist of food or whatsoever, or health care. They have to tell us if it is something dangerous or unbeneficial. If it is only unbeneficial, then we should not have a big problem. You know what I mean? And at the end, we have to sit and talk and negotiate, because this is our own child. This is the fruit of our life. We should not put it in danger, and we should not make it a matter of fight between us. We should sit and talk wisely, and if we fail, then we ask someone who we think that he has wisdom, and he should sit with us and show us the correct way to be taken. Wallah.